What's up everyone, it's Sammy or Alpine55, and today I'm going to be doing an install video on the JXB Performance Center Support Bearing Carrier for the E46. So inside the box we have a 10% off code for if you post them on social medias, and then we got a nice sticker here. Along with, you have the street and track bushings. I ended up going with the street pack. And the benefits of this product are that it's a way stronger construction than the factory center support bearing carrier, along with being a very easy install. Next thing that we have are the bushings that actually go around the bearing, and these are going to be labeled street and track on the back of them, and of course I'm going to be going with the street on these as well. So now let's get to the install, and the first thing we're going to do is take off the exhaust, which is just a few nuts. One here, one here, one here, and then one on the other side there. And then also this is going to be the center exhaust carrier, and then there is a center piece that's going to be connecting the two sides of the car under with 413mm, and then the exhaust mounts on the back. And majority of these are going to be a 13mm to remove. So once you go ahead and remove them, you just go ahead and drop the exhaust. The next step is to drop the heat shield, and mine is missing a bit of screws, but you're pretty much just going to be going along and removing, I believe these are 10mm. And once you have those all removed, you can just go ahead and drop the heat shield and you'll be at the drive shaft. So what we're going to do now is cut out the existing center support bearing carrier, and this is aluminum, so it's fairly easy to get through. I ended up just using a multi-tool, and what you're going to do is cut through the aluminum along with the rubber in the middle, but you want to leave that bearing intact. So we're not going to be dropping the drive shaft at all, just removing the two 13mm right here. And then I ended up flipping over the center support bearing carrier, and that gave easier access to cut things, which you can see I started to cut from right here on the front. And from there, I was able to get through the aluminum frame and kind of rip things apart with some pliers. After that, you can see I ended up getting the main rubber out of place with my multi-tool, and then I just took off the old frame that was broken apart. And it's okay that the drive shaft is going to be hanging a little bit right here. It's not going to cause any issues with anything. So what you're going to do is just trim down that center rib that's within the center support bearing carrier, and then you want to leave the molded rubber intact that's around the bearing. And if you do remove this rubber, you do have to replace the bearing. The way that I have it here in the video is exactly how you'd want it. You could clean it up a little bit more, but overall that molded piece is going to be what I'm actually touching and spinning, and you want to make sure to leave that intact. And this carrier is a two-piece, which is why we don't have to drop the drive shaft to do the install, and it simply goes together with these two Allen head screws that go here and here. I'm going to be using these street bushings, and I'm going to go ahead and put those into place, and then we'll just go ahead and put this two-piece around our existing bearing. Make sure that the front label on the center support bearing carrier is aimed towards your engine, and then just go ahead and tighten down those Allen screws to get everything secure in place. Now you just want to go ahead and turn it left and then to the right, and make sure that things are completely tightened down. Now go ahead and grab the included washers and put them into place. What you're going to do is just kind of push them up and then lean them sideways, and they'll stay right there on the stud. And now we have the other bushings that were in that street bag, which one's going to go on the top, and then you can kind of see how I have the stack of the other ones right here. We have bushing and then the hardware going through with a washer in place as well. So once you go ahead and push that all together on both sides, you can then go ahead and grab onto the center support bearing carrier and push it up to the studs. You'll have two hands when doing this, so it should be a bit easier, but go ahead and just hand thread the two nuts into place, and that will make it a lot easier to then use your tool to fully tighten this down. And once everything's nice and tightened down, go ahead and grab onto the drive shaft and give everything a shake test, just to confirm that everything's in place. And then after that, you are completely done installing the JXB Performance Center Support Bearing Carrier. All you have to do now are reverse those initial steps by putting the heat shield back on for the exhaust, putting the exhaust back into place, and then driving your car. Huge thank you to JXB Performance for sending out this kit for me to do the install video, and they offer these for tons of other cars, not just the E46. They offer them for tons of Audis, for other BMWs, and plenty of other cars that you can check out on their website, jxbperformance.com. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great day.